Hey there, welcome back to my channel, A Boom Like. It's me, Gloria, and today I'm hopping on because rather than a makes video or patterns or an update on my frugal sewing or anything like that, what I really wanted to do today was shine light on some of the other creators that I really love on this platform that I figure with me making a video like once every blue moon, here's some other people that I really enjoy and I wanted to share with y'all. So let's jump into them in no particular order. So I don't know how many folks I have here. I think I have like 20 tabs open right now on my computer, but I'm gonna go through some makers with their channels and what I like about their channels, and maybe you'll have something that you can add to your watch list, or we have some folks in common that we really love. I'm hoping I can help you discover somebody new that you like. These are makers of all different channel sizes, some smaller than mine, some bigger than mine, some much bigger than mine. But without further ado, let's get into it. The first tab that I have open is for knottygnome Crafts. Now, I follow her on YouTube as well as Instagram. She's very active on both. I really enjoy following knottygnome because, one, they're really consistent. So I know I can usually see some new videos. I think the pattern reviews that they do are super informative and I like that. And she sews for petite sizing. Even though I'm not as petite, I'm 5'4", I'm about average height, I think, and we have different body types. I do like seeing her information of how she's adjusting pieces and adjusting patterns to fit her body size. I think it's really interesting and stuff that I can learn from. And I like some of her style. We have a little bit of crossover in certain things. I don't remember what the first video was that I watched from knottygnome, but I think that she had been making some active wear and I thought, oh, okay, this is really interesting. Let me jump into that. And from then on, I've just really enjoyed her videos. Love those. So check out knottygnome Crafts, Instagram and YouTube. The next one, oh my gosh. Okay, I love the channel of Lydia Naomi. I find her channel just super interesting. I love watching those videos. I do sew under duress for myself sometimes, but I find her videos really engrossing when she does one of those like, let me sew 5 garments in a day and a half thing. She also is a pattern maker and shows how she's made her patterns, shows how other people have made up her patterns, and walks through step by step. I don't always love watching sew with me videos, but there's something about the way that Lydia Naomi does her videos that I really enjoy, and she has a variety. They're not just sew with me's, but they're really interesting when she does jump into the sew with me. So that's one that I really love, and I don't know what country she is, but I don't think it's US. I do not think that she's US based, but she does PDF patterns and there's some really interesting patterns in there. One of these days I'm gonna try a couple of hers, maybe one of these jackets. But yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Another one, she is super popular on here, does more than just sewing, does a lot of thrift flips and a lot of, I would call them calm, soothing videos. I find her videos really interesting for the style, for the artistic direction. And I find a lot of her projects interesting is Wendy from With Wendy. I follow her, I don't think I follow her on Instagram, but I follow her on YouTube. And I love her channel. I love how in depth she goes into certain things. Love the recreations, the thrift flips. I started watching her videos a while back and it was really nice to see somebody who was more of a beginner just jump into a project. And I also really liked when I needed a video that had a more calming, soothing vibe. That's the vibe of her videos. They are fresh air, soothing, calm, cozy, stylistically. So that's Wendy. Super huge channel. I think she's based in Canada. And I know she has a shop, but I don't think she has patterns for sale. She has certain things in her shop, but her videos are super interesting. Go back into the catalog. There's a years-long catalog. You will enjoy her channel. Okay, I'm trying to go through a little quickly so that we're not here. I don't want this to be a half-hour long video, but we'll see. The next person that I really, really love is Juliet Uzor. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I remember watching her season of The Great British Sewing Bee, which is really hard to watch in the US. But her season was one of the ones that I was able to watch fully. And she is just a really amazing sewist. We have slightly different styles, but I really admire the way that she sews. Her personality is so beautiful. I love a lot of the things that she creates on her own channel. I'm surprised she is not way bigger on YouTube. She is an amazing, amazing creator. You should definitely check her out. Her website is sewsonatural.com, but her channel is Juliet Uzor, and definitely worth a watch. She does tutorials, hauls, all of the sewing things. Sew with me. I think one of her latest is about her new sewing space. Just all around great sewing channel to follow. She is super cool. Love it. And I think she now has patterns out. She's making her own. Okay, next up, somebody who is very big in at least my Instagram circles, but on Instagram and getting bigger into YouTube is Maureen. I love the things she creates. I think we're near the same height. We have slightly different body types, but I love her style, and I really like to follow the way that she makes things, and just her style and the patterns that she chooses for sewing are really, really wonderful, and I like getting inspiration from her. Yeah, I just really enjoy everything that I see her do on Instagram, and then when I can, I'll watch her YouTube videos as well. So check out Maureen. I really, really enjoy her. Oh, okay. So this one, okay, Abby Cox. Huge, huge, huge here on YouTube. Her main subject is really fashion history. And I think I found her on YouTube. She does sewing and she goes through some sewing, but she's really talking about fashion history. And I believe she used to work at Colonial Williamsburg, and she does a lot of like fashion history, pop culture, experiential sewing based items. And also we'll do things like 18th century hair care routines, stuff like that. But I started watching her channel because I had watched Not Your Mama's History, which is a Black creator who also does historical. I think she worked in Colonial Williamsburg, but she does this fashion history and historical recreation, whatever that is. I forget what it's called, but she does that and obviously shines a light on the Black experience because there's not as many makers who are doing that sort of a thing. But Abby Cox and her had done a collaboration, and then I was like, what is this channel? This is really interesting, going into the guts of these corsets and whatnot. So I really enjoy watching her channel because although I'm not into these dressing as if I'm in the 18th century, I really like the knowledge on Abby Cox's channel. She talks about the insides of these garments and kind of goes through making them step by step. And when you understand layer by layer how garments are constructed, you understand so much more, whether it's about modern or historical artifacts. I really like her channel, and I like her personality. She's fun to watch. The people that she collaborates with, the way that she presents her knowledge and gives credit to the people that she's learning from. And I don't know this woman, but she seems like a person who's not going to call the cops on a kid selling water in a park. So I really enjoy Abby Cox. Next up is Blueprint DIY. Now, I love this channel. One, the personality of the creator, I really enjoy. But two, the creativity. One of the things that's hard for me with certain parts of the sewing world is how mundane certain things can look like if you just make patterns as intended by these pattern companies. Don't look beyond the line drawings. Blueprint DIY, what she does is upcycling. That is her thing. Upcycling an upcycled fashion brand and showing people how to upcycle. She also had a reality competition that she ran. I forget the name of it. If I can remember, I'll pop it up here. But it was really interesting to watch her run that channel, and that introduced me to some other creators to follow as well. She is someone who leans into wearing the fashion that you want to wear and creating the fashion that you want to create. And that's why I follow her. If you want to get out of a style rut and you need some inspiration, you just want to see how someone else is doing it, even if you're not going to do the same exact things as them, follow Blueprint DIY. You will not be disappointed. In that vein, seeing somebody remix some things, she is less active on YouTube than she used to be, but Coolirpa is one of the ones that I loved following and watching her thrift flips. That was basically the thing that I got into, was watching Coolirpa make thrift flips. Now, I don't do a lot of thrift flips. I don't do a lot of thrifting. I'm starting to get back into it again, but watching somebody else kind of get creative with the things that they bring home from the thrift store and the trial and error of making things work for their body and for their friends' bodies. I really enjoyed the creativity on her channel. So that's somebody to check out, Coolirpa. And though she doesn't have as many things coming out as often anymore, there's a vast back catalog that you can just jump back into and get some inspiration and also just have some sewing entertainment. After that, I have Daniela Tabois. Now, there's a specific series that I found so entertaining, and I understand why she might not do it anymore. It seems to take a lot of resources, but on Daniela Tabois' YouTube channel, if you go back in the archives a little bit, she has a few videos that are like a $30 challenge, a $50 challenge, a $15 challenge, where she's in New York, I believe, finding the fabric, finding the items, and creating a gown or some sort of a piece of clothing for a certain constraint, for a certain amount of money. And that media is so entertaining to watch. I love it. She's so creative, so interesting, has a really like cool personality. She just has a distinct style. Those videos in particular, highly, highly, highly recommend. So that's Daniela Tabois. And now I think this is the only guy on this list, but I believe his name is Brandon of Happily Dressed. Doesn't have a lot of videos, but what I've seen him make, I really enjoy. And that's basically what, like, that's that about this channel. His videos are enjoyable. I watch this guy learn to sew and make interesting fashion, just dream up what he wants to make and creates it. I like his channel because he's enjoyable to watch sew. That's that. Happily Dressed, you've got to check him out. And I think he's also on Instagram, but those YouTube videos, watching him create some beautiful pieces, it'll just put a smile on your face. I like his channel. Another maker that I really enjoy is Kim Dave, and I believe her channel is Kim Dave or Kim Dave Designs. And similarly to Juliet Uzor, she's outside of the US. I don't know where she's based. Juliet Uzor, I think, is in the UK. Kim Dave, I don't know where she is. I want to say she's somewhere in Europe, and I believe she is an African immigrant or first generation or something like that. So there's African influence in her design. She is a designer, and she has items from her label that she has for sale, as well as patterns. I believe she still does patterns, but she will go through design processes on her channel. She will there's a video that was really really interesting where she learned how to pleat fabric, like in the on like I'm not going to explain it well. Just look back through to a video about her pleating fabric. It is a really really cool video. She does a lot of different things. Again, she does a lot of design, draft, make type of video. She goes from the idea to the draft to the final make and shows how she'll do certain things. So that's a good channel if you're trying to learn how to draft on your own or get some inspiration. Not that she's straight out teaching you exactly drafting details, but you get to see somebody go through their process. So Kim Dave, really interesting channel. And then she also has some fun stuff, like just a little fluffier every once in a while, some style challenges that she does and things like that. So check her out. Love the channel. Wow, okay. So I'm realizing now how many pattern makers I have on this list. But somebody that I really, really enjoy is Pattern Scout. They are a indie pattern brand, but I also really enjoy this maker. I don't know everyone's actual name, so I'm just going to call them by their channel names. But I enjoy watching Pattern Scout going through basically their making process. These are some of the sewing videos, like I said, with Lydia Naomi that I really enjoy. Some of the same things I like about Lydia Naomi are what I like about Pattern Scout. They're really interesting videos to me, and I like their style. It's a little more not subdued, like, yeah, a little subdued, a little bit more classic in certain ways, but then with these pops of like really interesting, unique style lines or pieces. And so I really enjoy seeing somebody with a distinct style create for themselves and then share it with us as well. So that's another thing that I enjoy about some of these makers, and Pattern Scout is someone worth checking out. On that same note, another indie pattern brand, Rosery Apparel. I have a totally different style from this person, totally different body type, totally different like way of sitting down and making. But similarly to how with Wendy, I enjoy the calmness of the videos. Rosery Apparel is just a pleasant channel to watch. The videos are calming, are peaceful, and are beautiful. It's that same bright and cozy feel. And the patterns are lovely. It's another person with a distinct style that is calmly in detail and through a certain artistic lens showing how they make their products, and I enjoy that and love that. I need to probably check out some of these patterns. I know that she makes free patterns, and she has paper patterns and PDF, and I believe is Australia based. But yeah, Rosery Apparel, lovely videos to watch. I really enjoy her videos. Okay, another UK maker. I believe her name is Aisha, and she's known online as the Crafterpreneur. Every single video that she makes is entertaining and interesting to me. I don't think I've seen a video from the Crafterpreneur that I'm not like, oh, this is enthralling, or oh, I really enjoy this. When I was deciding to make my channel, this is weird to say now because I don't actually know these people in real life, but when I was deciding, oh yeah, I should jump into creating my channel, I realized, oh, I really like what the Crafterpreneur is doing, and I could see myself doing something like that. And even if it's just me and my mom who watch these videos, this will be fun for me. I think I could do something like that. Though that's how I feel about the Crafterpreneur. Everything that they create is interesting, entertaining, unique, and lovely to watch. I, again, like her personality. I like her style. I think one thing I really, really liked, or one thing I enjoyed and really related with was she, like me, is someone who likes a short dress, who likes things low cut, who likes to show skin every once in a while, not all the time, but I liked seeing somebody sewing these patterns and not having it to the floor and up the neck and everything like that. I like that it was a little, her style is more youthful and exciting to me, and really enjoy her. So the Crafterpreneur, similarly to me, drops videos when she wants to on her schedule when it works out. But every video that she drops is a video worth watching. I love watching her fabric videos when she does fabric finds. I really appreciated her videos showing how she organizes her fabric, because that's how I ended up organizing my fabric, using the IKEA Ivars and wrapping my fabric on bolts like the fabric store. It's really useful, and I'm amazed that more people don't do a similar fabric organization thing. But I don't have enough kind words to say about this channel. You have to check it out. If you don't know the Crafterpreneur yet, you can thank me later. If you already do, you know how amazing these videos are. So check her out. I think I have about 5 more. The next channel that I love is The Fold Line, UK based. So if you're in the US, you might not be familiar with them. UK based, connected to their own sewing shop where they sell commercial and indie patterns from other makers. But what I really love from the Fold Line is their Sew the Trends videos, and their videos where they kind of do a pattern hunting to try to recreate styles as seen on TV. I haven't seen them doing that as much lately, but it's something that I think I want to borrow from their channel and use on mine as well. So definitely worth checking out. It's really nice too if you like to keep on top. It's easy to keep on top of the big 4 pattern companies when they have releases, but what I like that the Fold Line does is they go through newly released indie patterns every once in a while, and it's nice to just see what's out there because there are so many indie brands. It's nice to have somebody just like collect the new releases, and you can just watch one video and get to know what's out there a little bit. So definitely check them out. Again, they are UK based. Okay, I'm realizing that this is definitely going to be long, but let it be. So another YouTube channel that I think is great for instruction, and I recommend this channel to everyone I know who's just started sewing and wants to learn more about fabric and about certain seam construction, is Zoe Hong. Zoe Hong is a fashion design instructor, professor, at least instructor, and her channel is about fashion design. It is so useful. There are specific videos that are useful for makers who are super interested in garment construction. There is a video on her channel a while back about different kinds of seams. You'll go in there and learn about a flat felled seam, about French seams. I think there's 8 different kinds of seams. It is really good for reference. There's a specific video, can't remember the name of it, but I'll put one of the iCards, I'll pop up there. And she has a series that is super useful where she goes in depth on different fabric types, everything you need to know about silks, about lace, about wool, and again, doing it in a way that is really, really nice to come back to for reference. If you want to learn about garments, this channel is super useful. And then, of course, if you're interested in fashion and design and you like to hack your patterns, this channel is super interesting because she goes through fashion design. She critiques fashion brands. She critiques runway shows. She critiques portfolios. She shows her design process. This is really great instruction, and one of those channels that makes me feel like, yeah, I learned sewing at University of YouTube. Zoe Hong's channel, super useful for anyone who needs videos to reference for garment construction. Check her out for sure. And then obviously for the fashion side of things too. Super interesting. Now this channel, I don't know if they're still creating new videos, but I still love their old videos, and that is the Stitch Sisters. They have a video series. There are two video series that I really enjoyed. One was like where they would put a particular pattern head to head. So there was Battle of the Culottes, where they would have a culotte pattern from one brand and from another brand. They would both make up their patterns and put head to head their review of the patterns or whatnot. So they would do this with different articles of clothing. And that was a super interesting series. And then the second thing that I think they only made a couple of videos in this series was kind of a surprise pattern pick series where they would bring up certain items from their pattern collection and then pick at random which pattern they would make and make that up. I found that really interesting. I like their interaction with each other. They have, good banter. Really entertaining to watch, but I don't think they make videos as consistently anymore. I think that they are focusing more on their online sewing school, but there is a deep catalog of videos that you could go through and watch as well. And they are UK based. Next up is somebody who's, I think she's only been making videos for a year or so, maybe a little bit longer. And she has definitely surpassed me. Blown Up. Love her channel, TIMA by FK. Lovely woman making garments and sharing them with people. Just delightful to watch. Beautiful style, gets really gorgeous fabrics, and she does a lot of reviewing. She is super consistent, way more consistent than me. If you're ever missing videos from me, just hop on over there because she'll have at least one new one each week. She does reviews, she does collections, hauls, everything, all of the normal sewing things. And she is talking about her experience learning more about sewing. So I don't necessarily, I think advanced beginner is where she is. And some of the things that I've seen her make, I'm like, you can just say you're intermediate, because some of this stuff is looking pretty nice and looks pretty difficult to me. But everyone has different things that they find difficult. Anyway, that channel is TIMA by FK, and I think you'll just really enjoy her videos. Oh, yay. And another one in the same vein, she has a different style, but the same vein of just really enjoyable videos is the Curated Curvy. Another sewist who is on the advanced beginner side of sewing, but is very consistent, comes on and reviews, shows her hauls, and shares with people. I don't even think she's a beginner. She might be more advanced. I don't know. I just always think everyone's more advanced than me. But I really enjoy the Curated Curvy. She does lovely review videos, haul videos, and then she does collections of the things that she has sewn and is planning to sew. And the nice thing about her is her plans and her collections tend to line up more than some people. But that's maybe why I don't show my plans as often. But she does a really good job of showing what she's planning on sewing and talking through how it's going, and then talking through what she thought of the patterns. So I really, really enjoy her channel. It is a delight, and she puts out videos consistently. And now the last channel that I have here is not the last channel that I love. I watch so many sewing channels, but is for the Francophone folks. My French goes in and out. It was my first language. I'm not that good at it anymore. America, but all of that. But a sewing channel that I really, really enjoy for all the same reasons that I enjoy Curated Curvy and TIMA by FK and Juliet Uzor, like all those sewing and lifestyle sewing channels, is Freundii Couture. That's Freundii Couture. And she is just a delight to watch. If you speak French, if you just need to practice your listening a little bit more, if you're just looking for more francophone sewing channels, because that is access to some different patterns. There's some French sewing companies that you don't get as much um, access to in the Anglophone world, like Le Lubie de Cagia. I'm surprised she's not bigger in a lot of places, but I think it's probably because everything's in French. You get more info about Deer and Doe patterns in these French folks channels, but Freundii Couture is, I like her style. I like her personality. She's really interesting to watch, and she's took a little break for a little while, but generally fairly consistent with her videos. Definitely worth checking out. And then, even if you don't speak French, there's some videos that you can definitely check out, put on the captions, and see if you don't enjoy them. Anyways, those are the, I don't know, 20, 25, whatever number of differing sizes of YouTube channels on here that I say you should definitely check out. I'm hoping to come back here sometime soon with some more makes videos and some updates on some sewing projects. But if I don't, check out these folks. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my channel. I will see you guys in the next one.